Welcome, everyone. So glad to be here together. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're safe and warm, surrounded by loved ones. We're going to open our time together with worship like we would at any normal weekend service. And we'd invite you to sing along at home as we praise the name of Jesus together.
Peace, bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break. At your name still, call the sea to still, the rage in me to still, every wave. At your name, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, 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 your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus.
Thanks so much for participating in this video. I'm so glad that you're here watching with us. I hope you're at home. I hope you're cozy. I hope you're chilling. I hope you're hanging. I hope you are having a great time. Maybe you got some coffee, some tea, whatever it is. I hope that you're just comfortable and that you're able to connect through this time. I know you don't need to be reminded, and I don't need to be reminded, that everything in our world right now feels really different and changing at every single moment. But I want to remind you that even though our job life and our career schedule has completely changed, even though the way we connect with each other and our family has totally been disrupted, I want to remind you that something that is not going to change is that our church, Christ Church of Flagstaff, is here to help one another follow Jesus. That our church is so much more than a building. It's us helping one another follow Jesus. And I hope you'll continue to support us in that as we want to make ourselves available and encouraging and inspiring and supporting of you in this time. And so thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being here. And I just want to encourage you to more and more in this time, continue to be about what we are about and to help and love and serve the people around you. Thanks for watching.
Hey Christ Church, this is Chris. I'm so glad you're joining us, all of our church family right now in this new format, this different way that we're connecting and experiencing fellowship and what God has for us together. Last weekend, 145 of us from our church and from Flagstaff went to Rocky Point, Mexico as part of our spring break. We built 8 houses for families. What was so amazing, this picture that I have in my mind, is seeing the structures of where these families were living and knowing that as we pulled out of Rocky Point, literally as we left town to come back here to all the awesome things that are happening in our community, the rain started. And 8 families that the last time it rained in Rocky Point got soaking wet because their roofs have holes, their houses were patchwork. They had a dry home. I'm so proud of our church. Many of you have been a part of that in whatever way you participated, whether you helped us go there financially or you went on that trip or you've been in previous trips. Such a blessing that our church family prioritizes other people and selfless living. And I'm so proud of those people and everyone who helped make that happen. Thank you so much. And it seems that all of us that left for just a little bit, we were gone 4 days. We came back to a very different place. It feels like not just a fresh snow that fell the last couple of days, but we came back to a different community. I went to the grocery store Thursday, just yesterday when I'm filming this, and my wife and I were getting some stuff, and we were walking up and down the aisles, and I was really thinking, well, we should buy stuff to make spaghetti. Like that sounded good. And we go down the aisle where all the like pastas and noodles and the spaghetti sauce usually are at our local bashes, and it was empty. There was like 1 can of some really nasty variety of spaghetti sauce that I was like, why would you put these things together and make sauce? Ugh. And it was like no spaghetti. It was gone. Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, whole aisles gone. And I started looking at things and going, Christy, we should get a whole bunch of this. And she just kept looking at me going, we don't like that. Why would we get a whole bunch of that? I'm like, I don't know. What if it's gone next time we come? Found myself getting kind of worried and nervous. And we found ourselves in the cookie aisle, which had a fair amount of stuff left in stock. And she said, hey, go get some of those circus animal cookies that we just love as a family. We eat them all the time. And I went down the aisle a little bit further, and there's a big hole where these usually sit. And I got a little panicky because right next to these are the frosted circus animal cookies. If you've never had these, I mean, they're amazing. I mean, I hope your store still has some. I went and I saw the chocolate ones, which are not very good in my opinion. I saw the plain ones, which only a Neanderthal would eat the plain ones, right? These are the best. And I thought they were gone. But I looked at the very back of the shelf, and maybe where some people who are shorter wouldn't have seen them, there were 3 bags of these animal cookies. And I was so excited. And I thought, you know what? I should get them all. What if no more are being made and produced and being delivered? What if in a few days when we go back to the store to get more stuff, there are no more of these? Will I be able to make the next few weeks without these? I had to pray. And friends, I'll tell you what I did. I made, I think, the right decision is I didn't take all 3. I only took 2. So I hope you're the person God chose to get that other pack at Bash's on the west side of animal cookies. But man, it just felt different when we came home than we left. And the world can change that fast, and we're seeing it. And I would just say, if you're tempted to hoard things right now, just in the comments or wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, just admit it. Like, put it out in the open. Like, Chris, I've been hoarding toilet paper, because some of you are. And I've been hoarding, maybe I wanted to, but my wife stopped me. What is it you're tempted to hoard? Maybe you haven't gone there yet, but just admit it. Put it in the comments. I'll put in there, I'm tempted to hoard more cookies. I'm going back after this to see if they've restocked, just in case. But I hope, in all seriousness, you aren't worried about cookies. But I know that we're all worried at some level in this situation we find ourselves in. Maybe you're worried about something that is really significant, and it's truly a problem. We as a church family, we want to come together. And I think we have to start thinking about, how can you and I and our church family help each other? How can we lift up these worries in prayer? Maybe the thing you really need to comment on this platform is, what is it you're worrying about? How can we pray for you? Just put that in there. It doesn't need a lot of explanation. You don't need to defend it or rationalize it or be embarrassed by it. Just, what are you worried about? How can we pray for you? We're all dealing with something. You're dealing with something. I'm dealing with something we've never dealt with. This is a new situation as we figure out how to live in this season of a coronavirus. This beautiful city of ours, of Flagstaff, should actually be filled right now with spring breakers coming to ski and eat at our restaurants and relax and have a great time and enjoy their spring break from the valley or wherever they come from. But it's not happening. All those places are closed. Maybe you work at one of those places. Maybe you're impacted in some other way. We're all dealing with something that's different. Where should we turn in a new time, in a new crisis, for wisdom? I just wonder if, as we always should, is this another chance to turn to Jesus? Listen to what he says in Matthew, as recorded in Matthew, this gospel, this biography of his. He says in the 6th chapter, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. Do they not sow or reap or store away in barns? And yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any of us, by worrying, add a single hour to our life? That's what Jesus asks. Is worry even optional today? Have we fallen, maybe not even intentionally, into this trap that worry right now is mandatory? But Chris, if I'm not worrying about things, how will I be prepared? What if I go to the store and there's no spaghetti? Whatever will I do if I don't buy it all? I'm not going to try to convince you through logic to not worry. Because let's be honest, you and I have never let the facts get in the way of our emotions. That's just not how we're wired. We don't operate that way. But Jesus asked the right question. Can we, by worrying, add a single hour to our life? It's not rhetorical. It's the question of today. What if you were to start to look at worry like it's a virus? Oh yeah, I went there. What if you thought of worry like it was a virus? Have you been infected with worry? Have you been exposed to it? Is it inside of you, moving all around? Maybe you don't even realize it. If you saw it that way, wouldn't you ask for the vaccine? What's the solution? What's the cure? What's the treatment plan for worry? For this season that we find ourselves in? I propose, still Jesus. In that same chapter, just a few verses later, he says, Matthew records it, verse 33 of chapter 6, but seek first his kingdom, God's kingdom, and his righteousness. And all these things, all the things we're worried about, food and clothes and how we're going to survive, will be added to you as well. Therefore, Jesus says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Jesus' solution to worry, his cure for the virus of worry, is to seek his kingdom. First and foremost, to think about and pursue the things Jesus came to establish. When he came to this disease, worry-filled place that we call earth, when he came here, he came to live and to die and to establish a kingdom in which we now live in and participate in. And he says so clearly, the way that you and I overcome worry, the way we kill the worry virus in us, is to seek that kingdom, to do the things he asks us to do. He established a countercultural movement of love and grace and shalom, peace, that we can still find today. It continues to provide Jesus' kingdom, continues to provide the best path forward for this life every single day in every single circumstance, as well as the best path forward for our life to come. Would you consider with me this week, the antidote for worry is Jesus and his kingdom? Could you just think about that and let it start to redefine how you look at things? Do you want to ask Jesus to help you with your worry? Do you want to? I think we should. I think we should right now together. As distant as we are, as together as we are in this spirit of we don't want worry, I don't want to worry, but I find myself falling into it. Let's go to the one who says he has the solution. Pray with me. Maybe just even repeat these words. If you want to close your eyes, you want to just listen. If that helps you focus. Jesus, would you help me not to worry today? If you want to repeat those words in this prayer, do it. Jesus, I want to trust you. I keep slipping back into worry, into trying to figure everything out. Would you bring your love? Would you bring your grace? Would you bring your shalom into my heart, into this home, into our family? Jesus, we need your help. We need you. You are the solution to everything. Thank you and amen. The antidote for worry is Jesus and his kingdom. So here's some things I think we do. The actions you and I can take to put ourselves more and more into that kingdom, focusing on Jesus. Here's just a couple of ideas that will help you. They're helping me each day. I would encourage you to find a Bible reading plan. If you want to stay digital, YouVersion is an incredible tool. There's dozens about worry, about anxiety, and you just go to the homepage. They're all featured this week. Or just reading the Gospels, the story of Jesus. Maybe you want an old school reading plan. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And read those. And maybe find some friends to read them together. And when you're online and you're doing a reading plan, connect with what we're doing as a church. We're going to continue to do this every weekend, every Sunday morning. These times will come and debut and be released. But all throughout the week, our team and people from our church are going to be just helping each other follow Jesus through this format in different ways, and just connect with that, our app, all the places, wherever you are online. We'll be there. Look for us. but it could start with finding a reading plan. The other thing I would suggest, and this is something I've done recently at our house, is I've designated a place, a chair, a recliner in our house, in our basement, is where I have typically this Bible and some journals and some devotional things that I'm reading. And I want you to designate a place. It could be a chair, it could be your table where you eat, anywhere. It doesn't have to be big or elaborate, but where's the place you're going to spend time with Jesus? Where's your refuge from the worry and the news feeds, from the digital? We need to use those for good, but we also need breaks from being on our phones or our tablets or watching the news. Where's a place you can designate, a location in your house to spend time with Jesus? And maybe you just sit in his presence at times. Maybe that's where you do your reading plan. Maybe you fall asleep, take a nap. That sounds pretty good. I think it's just a way to help find the cure for worry. Here's one other thing. What if you could help? Specifically, there's a need this week and the weeks to come that we want to share with you at our partner at the Flagstaff Family Food Center. We've been very connected to them for years as a church. And overnight with this coronavirus, this crisis, and all things changing in our community, their need for food distribution tripled. 3 times as many people are asking them this week for food than a few weeks ago. And they need volunteers who are healthy, who are available, who are comfortable and willing. We don't want you to do something you're unwilling and uncomfortable for. If you're in a vulnerable category for this virus, then no, this isn't for you. But for some of us, could we go, and their needs specifically are 2 things: to help make sandwiches. Very low skill level involved here. I might even be able to do this. Make sandwiches. They're making 500 sandwiches a day to hand out in sack lunches to people who need food. And also during certain hours of the day, distribute emergency food boxes. I just this morning sent an email in. It's hotfood.org, and you can do the same thing. You can go there. It'll be on the screen. You're seeing it now. Go to their website, send an email, ask for some information, make a phone call, and I sent it. Our family right now, all of us are healthy. And we're going to look at what times this week can we go and make sandwiches or hand out food boxes. What can we do to help? What can you do to help? Find a reading plan in God's Word in the Bible. Designate a place, a physical location for you to connect with Jesus in your home. And what could you do to help? Maybe at the Flagstaff Family Food Center this week or in some other way. You see, these are the antidote to our worry. Jesus and his kingdom. And they are what we need more than anything right now in this crisis, in this season, this confusing time. What would it look like if you let Jesus and his kingdom invade your heart and your life?
There's a table that you've prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body and your blood you shed for me. This is how I find my battles. There's a table that you've prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body and your blood you shed for me. This is how I find my battles. And I believe you've overcome, and I will live my song of praise for all you've done. This This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. In the valley, I know that you're with me. And surely your goodness and your mercy follow me. So my weapons are praise and thanksgiving. This is how I fight my battle. And I believe you've overcome, and I will lift my song of praise for all you've done. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you.
We wanted to take a minute as you are still with us in this video. We want to connect with you about the structure of our church, because even though we're not meeting in person or in a building right now in this season, we want to remind you that the structure of Christ Church of Flagstaff remains the same. And not only is it the same, in fact, it's guiding us more and more than it ever has before. I want to remind you that there are these three drivers, these three pistons that drive the engine of our church. And as I explain these to you, I just want you to remember, these are what's guiding us and helping us help one another follow Jesus. And so I just want to make that clear, and also let what we talk about in these next few moments remind you, maybe inspire you to be thinking about ways you can more and more connect and be involved with what's going on right now in our life. The first piston, the first driver at our church is powerful worship experiences. We are trying to, every week, throughout the week, create moments and times and spaces digitally and online where you and I can connect, and we can, more importantly, connect with God through some content and some things we're doing online. And so I want to make sure that first and foremost that you are connected to CCOF digitally. And that can happen in so many ways. I want to remind you that we have, first of all, an app that you can download at any of the app stores. That is a great way to stay updated with what's going on, but we will also send notifications each week of our main message and services we're providing online. Also, it's a great place to ask questions or to connect with a pastor or to reach out and know what is going on, what's next, you want more information. What a great place for that. The other thing is just stay connected with us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Be sure that you like that, subscribe, follow that. That's the same with a YouTube page. We have a YouTube page called CCOF Now. You will have all of our messages stored there so you can connect with them anytime you want. We also have an Instagram. So make sure that you're following us on Instagram, because these are great places for you to not only connect with what's going on with our main services, but also all the ways that there's going to be fresh content that our pastoral staff and lots of people from our church family are going to be contributing and putting things for you and your family to engage with and connect. And so that includes our children's ministry, The Junction. That also includes our student ministry. In fact, our children's ministry has its own page called The Junction, and make sure you check on that as well. So stay tuned with all these ways that we want to help us help one another follow Jesus. And that's going to happen through powerful worship experiences, just like it always has. The second driver, the second piston that drives the mission of our church of helping one another follow Jesus is life-changing relationships. And now, more than ever, has this become so important for us and the life of our church family. Many of us are involved in a life group, or maybe we signed up for Rooted this semester, and many of us know and are going to be missing our weekend gatherings where we got to see each other and connect. And so in this time, we're going to have to adapt and change how we normally connect with each other and still have and foster life-changing relationships. Here's some ideas we have, and we would love for you to connect more and to dive in, to lean into this season and not pull away. Here's the first. The first is, I want to encourage you, if you're in a life group, to stay with your life group and to keep meeting with your life group digitally, whether that's through FaceTime, a Zoom session, or whatever you guys want to do as a group, even if it's just a conference call and you're on speakerphone, whatever it takes, would you consider connecting with your life group? Maybe you guys all follow and download the YouVersion app and go through the same reading plan together. Or maybe it's just a way that you guys are constantly in contact throughout the week. We want to make sure that you as a life group are still in session, still meeting, and maybe even still doing the studies and plans that you were already going to do during this time. I also want to let you know of an idea that we are really excited to let you know about, and it's this idea that what if each one of us adopted a family in our church? So for example, each one adopt one. We're going to go home to home with this idea. The idea is that what you and I can do is we can find one family, just one. Don't worry about 20 other families. One family that you can adopt. If you're in a life group, you pick a family that's in your life group. Maybe there's someone you always sat by on the weekend services, and you say, I'm going to adopt them, and here's what it means to adopt them. Once a day or once a week, you choose to call and maybe pray for every day that family with them on the phone. Maybe you ask them, do you need any bread? Do you need any bananas? Is everyone healthy and well? Whatever it is, but basically what we're doing as a church is picture us tying these invisible cords to each other, connecting our lives to each other in a time where we are trying to practice healthy habits and help stop and disrupt the spread of this virus. And in the meantime, that doesn't have to affect our relationships. And so we want to encourage you, what if you tied a cord to that family, a family you can think of right now by name? They're in your life group. You know them from church. And maybe you're hearing this and you go, I don't know anyone. I feel disconnected. Reach out to us. Send us an email. We will help you find a family from our church you can adopt and that will adopt you, because we're going to pay it forward in this process. That's the whole idea, is what if everyone in our church in this season over the next couple weeks gets adopted by you and someone else, and that we can continue to have life-changing relationships. Please let us know if you have questions of how to do this more. If you're in a life group, or you're a life group leader, have questions about this, please connect with us, email us, send us a message, put a comment below. We would love to see if there's any way we can support you in this. But we know that in this season, what we need more than ever is to focus on life-changing relationships. The third driver, the third piston that drives the engine of us helping one another follow Jesus, is selfless living. And right now it can feel so easy to just want to withdraw and hoard and think only about ourselves or our closest loved ones. But this is a time where I know Jesus is calling us still more and more to selfless living, just like Chris talked to us about in his message, to focus on Jesus and his kingdom. And so we want to update you all the time on needs and ways that you can be a part of helping local things going on. And Chris mentioned that the local Flagstaff Family Food Center is looking for help. And if you have questions about how to get involved with that, please let us know. But they're looking to fulfill 500 meals a day. And I know that our church family can help meet that need. So please consider that. Also, as a part of selfless living, let's remember, some of us are financially impacted by this time, and our local church and even our local partners, like we said, are impacted by this time as well. And I want to encourage you, if you're somebody who can give, if you're somebody who says, I want to be a part of what CCOF is doing, to please continue to do that. There's all sorts of ways to give here at CCOF, and I just want to remind you of the ways that you can. Through the app, you can text the phone number that you see on the screen. You also can mail it in and just send it in the mail if you're used to giving it in person or at the building when we gather together. But however you do, remember that we are doing everything we can to make sure that we have the resources available to serve and to meet these needs in the community. And when you give, you're helping us do that. And we can only help to the extent that we have the resources to do so. So thank you ahead of time for your generosity and for your willingness to continue to practice these things. And our commitment is that no matter what's happening, we're going to help one another follow Jesus. We're going to continue to have powerful worship experiences. We're going to continue to practice and live in life-changing relationships. And we're going to live in such a way that we are selfless, practice selfless living. And I want to encourage you to help one another follow Jesus in this time. And I thank you so much for being a part of this church family.
Take heart. Don't be discouraged. The love of Jesus provides so much in times of uncertainty. And this song just recognizes that we can stand firm, we can stand secure in God's love. Darkness can't roll over God's love. He overcomes. He is the light. Let's sing this together as we bless you and send you on your way. When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide, and I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. And my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, there's power that can break off every chain. And there's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. Oh, there's power that can break off every chain. Oh, there's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, I'm standing in your love. Oh, my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, I'm standing in your love. Oh, I'm standing on the rock. Hey, I'm standing in your love. Take that with you this week. You can stand in his love. There's security, there's safety, there is protection and shelter in the love of Jesus. God bless you as you go. Have a fantastic week. And as always, let's help one another follow Jesus.